Today I'm sitting down with Terra Harvell, CEO of Harper Ellis Hair Co. Terra has taken risks and broken rules to get to where she is now, all the while building her empire. She went from working as a hairstylist to leading an 8-figure business, having a 7-figure real estate portfolio, and mentoring thousands of stylists and salon workers worldwide. Her extension company, Harper Ellis Hair Co., has taken over the hair industry with its exceptional quality and the support it offers to hairstylists. Today, Terra is a leader in the beauty space and a role model for others who feel stuck in their careers, burnt out, or ready for more. Whether you're a stylist, an entrepreneur, or someone with big dreams, her mission is to show you how to not just build a business, but a legacy that lasts. Terra, welcome to DITL.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
This is going to be so fun. Thank you for joining us. We are excited to learn more about the business and to get into the day-to-day of you. I think to start, would love to give the audience just an overview on the business and what you do.
I love that. Yeah, so I'm the CEO of Harper Ellis Hair Company. We started out a extension company. I've never had a lot of hair myself, and so I've always been very invested and interested in doing extension services. And so I became an all extension artist. Behind the chair, I only had extension clients, and 2 things. I loved being able to give people the hair that they don't have, like myself. I always say I have cat hair for hair. And then I loved also the price tag, because as a service provider, I, loved that people were checking out with $2,500 services, and that was amazing. So honestly, I had a bad month that the hair quality that I was using just went really, really bad. I replaced about $30,000 worth of bad extension hair in my business in 1 month. And so I went out on my own and figured out how to find the manufacturer to produce the product that I knew that could be created. The problem with hair extensions is they're not created by hairstylists that work with them every day. So we actually have a patent technology that we use to create our hair extensions. So we started out like that, but I quickly got very invested in our clients' lives of like, oh my gosh, I can help you make more money behind the chair. And then salon owners, in the salon industry, there's not a lot of business women because we're never taught that. As I've grown, I've learned that neither are doctors or lawyers or dentists or anything. We're not taught how to pass a test, right? Not how to run a business. And so throughout my journey of scaling Harper Ellis to 8 figures, I learned how to operate and own a business and scale a business. And so now we teach salon owners and hairstylists how to scale behind the chair and within their salon. And so it's been really cool to create this community that we change their lives. We're not just like a vendor that they work with. We're able to help their families and, affect their lives every day because we help them make more money. We all need more money to be able to live our dream life. So that's how I got started. Very long story short, but that's how I got started with my business. And now it's a whirlwind. So I'm excited to get into it.
I mean, I love that you identified a problem and sought to find the right solution there. I think that that's something that in any area of business, any industry, is always like, how do you figure out a solution to a problem? And that's where people find success. When you were joking about, having cat hair, did you gravitate towards this industry because of your own experience, or were you already a hairstylist and then found and identified the problem to then solve, or like which, was it the chicken or the egg? Like what came first?
Yeah, as a child, I actually have a brother. He was valedictorian of his class, and that just was not me. I was not. When I went to public school, and I graduated from public school believing that I wasn't smart, because I wasn't the top 10% of my class. I wasn't even probably the bottom. I was in the bottom 20% probably, honestly. And so I remember walking across that stage, getting my diploma and thinking, what am I going to do? Because school told me that I wasn't smart. And so I did go to college for like a hot minute until I decided this was a complete waste of my money. And I figured that hair would be, I was always great at styling my hair. I was, coloring my friends' hair in the bathroom at home. And so I kind of thought this would be a great way for me to make money. But honestly, just doing that, I was like, okay, I could take, 10 clients a day for $100 a pop, which I ended up charging, of course, way more than that. But just doing the math of like, I could make a very great living being a service provider, doing hair. And so that was the route. It was nothing that glamorous other than I just had to find a way out. I had no one ever that supported me financially. My parents are very, they're middle-class people and they have their own lives to live. So I had to find a way myself. And so I did find a way. As a stylist behind the chair, and this is one of my stats that I'm most proud of, is I worked 4 days a week and was able to produce a little over $750,000 in revenue. And so that's why I do what I do now. And I teach stylists and salon owners how to do the same thing, because that was my way. And I'm proud that I always say I'm proud that I'm just a hairstylist, because I think this industry, people kind of look in on it and are like, oh, you're just a hairstylist, and I get it. And honestly, it's kind of our fault that people feel that way. But we can be great businesswomen and men, and that's what I've, become. And behind the chair, I was able to make more money than my doctor and lawyer friends, and they have a large student loan now, and I do not. So it was just my way, and I love this industry. I love the beauty industry. It's scaling every single day. So
I also just love how you simplified this in terms of like this back of the napkin math of like, hey, how can I generate revenue with this amount of time, and like what do I need in order to get there? And so I think that even just thinking about that framework of like, if I am looking to hit this number in revenue, like how do I back into that and simplifying it into like a more digestible way is really cool. And I'm sure we'll get more into the story and kind of the day-to-day of your business as it stands today. On DITL, we always start at the very beginning of your day. We have this questionnaire that everyone fills out prior to starting to record when they get to our studios. Yours took me by surprise because I think you have the earliest wake-up time of anyone we have spoken to thus far. So I will let you share the big news here, but what time do you get your day started, and what does the morning look like for you?
Yeah, my alarm goes off at 4:45, and I am not going to lie. Sometimes I hit snooze for like 7 more minutes. And it's very specific, 7 more minutes. And so I hop out of bed, and it's because my trainer meets me at my house at 5 a.m. and we work out. And so I didn't always start my day like that. I was used to very much be the person that was just sliding into work last minute, because I got out of bed last minute. But as my business has grown, my day-to-day I wouldn't call it peaceful. Now, I'm scaling and running a business, so I solve problems all day, every day. And that's what, as the CEO, that's my job. And so I love that like 3 hours in the morning before my phone starts blowing up, before my email starts blowing up. And I just take it for myself. But I immediately go to the gym, and that just lights me on fire because I'm ready to just take over the world. And I hate working out. I think that people that say, oh my gosh, I hate working out. Who likes that? It's weird that you like working out. But what it does for me throughout the day is what I love about it. And it also is kind of a reflection of what I think success is. I think a lot of people get a little twisted. No one is motivated going to the gym, but when you leave the gym is when you get super motivated. And so that's the way I feel about my day. If I can get up and do the hard things first, the rest of my day, when I solve problems like, budgeting and all of these things that we're doing inside of the business that most would probably not find fun, they're great. They're easy. And so I also will cold plunge. I've kind of gotten out of it in the last 30 days, I'm not going to lie, but that's also another thing. Like if you can cold plunge, you can get out of bed and do anything you want to throughout the day. It's easy suddenly. So after that, I go back and I hang out in my robe and I just drink coffee. I look at my email, kind of scroll on social media before I start getting ready, take a shower, get ready. But it's just a slow morning. And I've learned that sets the mode for my entire day because the rest of my day is super, super fast. So I like that. And I think that it helps me be successful. So
what kind of workouts are you doing in the gym?
I've kind of been all over the place, but I've landed on weightlifting. Weightlifting has really alleviated a lot of stress. And I think that weightlifting is my way of becoming stronger. And so I like to weightlift. I mean, that's kind of heavy weights if I can. I'm getting stronger and stronger. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah. The pushing yourself to do hard things, I think, is really important as you're building a business, but incorporating that into your personal life as well. Yeah. When did you start incorporating the cold plunge and why?
Probably a year ago, I started to do that. I haven't been very consistent. I don't want to get anyone twisted on that. But I keep going back to it because of the way that I feel when I do that. It's just, it's hard to get yourself in that water and you're freezing, but it's only 3 minutes. And I think that is the mindset that you can have to be successful. If you can just bear the pain for just like a little bit, when you come out on the other side, you feel amazing, you're accomplished, you have the thing done. And then everything else seems so easy when you do the hard things. And so I think I like to flex that muscle a lot in my business and in my personal life, because that's how I go so fast,
Pace is something that we talk about a lot at Dear Media. How do you look at the pace of your day? I know that you said that the mornings you kind of take to yourself and are a little bit slower. Mm-hmm. At what point, it sounds like at around 8 a.m., that pace changes. Mm-hmm. But like you have a 4-year-old, you're running a business. And so like where do you, I don't want to use the word balance because I genuinely hate the word balance. Yeah. But what does the morning look like incorporating your personal time, your kid time, and then getting ready for a day of work?
When I slow down and before my child's awake, even before my husband's awake, it's just for me. I'm usually listening to a podcast, or I have education that I log on to every single day. And that's actually the moment that I invest in me. And I'm usually learning a skill that I need to develop in order to scale my business. And so I'm drinking coffee. And then my child wakes up, around 8 a.m. He gets ready to go to school and my husband wakes up. But here's the thing, my hack to life, and I haven't always been able to do this, of course, but as I've scaled, is to hire help, like hire people that can help you get things done more efficiently. And so we actually have an employee that shows up to our house every day at 8 a.m. She cooks breakfast and she does all the things that I don't want to do in order to get our day started. And so I will be able to just be present for Fletcher and just be able to hang out with him while she cooks breakfast. She gets him dressed. She does all of those things. And so we're just hanging out. And so that's my time with him. And then I head off to the office. And my day at the office is very jam-packed. And I think it's because this hasn't always been this way, because before I was a mother, I had the freedom to work into the night. I could be there. And sometimes that still happens now. But I plan my day out the night before every single day. And I actually book myself on 15-minute increments, whether it's a task that I have to get done or it's a meeting. And so I will book myself all day long. I don't have a lunch. Usually I'm planning a meeting that I can eat at the same time around lunchtime so that I can eat. But I'm packing it all the way full so I can leave at a decent time and go home and be a present mother. It doesn't always work out that way, of course. But if I can plan ahead and plan that my schedule just kind of takes me through my day, I'm very accomplished. I can get everything done and I can go home and, live my personal life. So.
Where did this 15-minute increment plan, where did you get this from?
One of my mentors actually, Natalie Dawson, she actually taught me this is something that they do inside of their business. And the one thing about this is a lot of people will say, okay, they have a to-do list, right? Everyone has a to-do list and it's just task-oriented all day long. Well, how often do you start working on a task and then you're like, social media, the phone starts coming and there's like scrolling or distraction, or people pop in and they're like, hey, I need this, and all the things. And so if I plan it in 15-minute increments, now some things take 30 minutes or 45 minutes, but I can kind of conceptualize how long these tasks take me. And I can say, okay, this one's going to take me 30 minutes. And if I can plan that my task is only going to take me 30 minutes and I don't let any distractions in, I can get something that would normally 3 years ago take me 3 hours done in 30 minutes. And I've knocked it out and I can move on. And so I wish that my life now is very different than it was, 3 years ago, because I get so much more done. Efficiency is everything. And I think that's why our business is moving so fast, because my team has also adapted that. Who would I be if I was the only one that ran like that? So now my team, they all operate in the same way, and I encourage them so we can move so fast. We have a vision and a target that we're getting to. So we got to go there as fast as we can.